Hi, Leo. Welcome to a manifestation reading for the Lionsgate portal of 8/8. It's Rena here. This is going to be a monthly tarot reading for August with a theme of manifestation. So I'm kind of coming up with this, what do you call it, spread on the fly. I thought I had one that I could use, but apparently I was mistaken. So I'm just doing it on the fly, and I'm using this new deck that I got, which is really cool because I saw it at my local health food store, and I was like, what are they doing selling tarot cards? So, but it's, some of you may know this deck. It's called the Original Tarot Deck, and it's really, like they said, I'll just read what it says on the back of the box. The Original Tarot Deck has been originally made by Pamela Coleman Smith under the instruction of Arthur Edward Waite. We have digitalized the card graphics to bring you crisp, vectorized images on quality card paper with linen finish. And when I heard linen finish, I was thinking, well, that sounds like it's going to be like a matte type of finish, but it's like in between where it almost feels kind of glossy, but it's got like a little bit of texture to it, and it's very bright. The replication of these cards, the printing. So I'm really enjoying this. I mean, you're the first one that I'm trying this out on. So anyway, and this is the back of the card. The other deck, I did have one that had a neat background of stars on it. That was a Rider-Waite type of deck, but the one that I typically have, and that a lot of people have these days, has a plaid background, and I'm not like crazy about that type of background. So this one, I mean, obviously I would use those cards, but I can't find every one of them, so I thought I'd buy a new deck. Why not? Okay, and so this is going to be that new spread. And we will see. And I will tell you what it means after I well, first of all, 3 out of the 5 cards are fire energy. So that's perfect for Leo. Happy birthday, Leo. We are now in Leo season. So I'm recording this right before August begins, so that makes sense. Okay, so this is a card that I am picking for you for the Lionsgate portal for manifestation, your heart's desire, 6 of Swords, and this is a card maybe of wanting to relocate. So some of you might have dreams of moving, but this can also be just a short getaway. Maybe you've been working. A lot of Leos are workaholics. Maybe you just want some time just to decompress, and it seems like you can't make it happen. Well, maybe you're going to have to make it happen. I mean, I was going to say not that you can't make it happen, but you're waiting for something outside of you to make it happen. And so that might not be something that you can just continue to rely upon, because if it's not happening, it's not happening. So the next card is what in the universe is supporting this wish of yours. And by the way, the 6 of Swords can also be a card of wanting to get away from a stressful situation. The 10 of Cups is a card of family and the happiness within a family. It's a card of marriage. It's a card of like a wedding. So maybe this is if there's some kind of a family celebration, or if you could be the one that initiates it, that could be the way that this all comes about. You want to get away, and you have family that you want to see, and you have like a a built-in place to stay, or if you just simply want, so if somebody has a cottage in the family, if there is some kind of an event that is occurring that you could attend and then connect it to your holiday or what have you, your vacation time, that might be what is happening. But you have to be the one to make it happen. The first step in realizing your dream, 10 of Wands, this is actually a card of overwork. Sometimes somebody who's very ambitious and is successful, and the byproduct of that. So this can be burnout. Hopefully you won't let it get to that point, because yes, some people, that's exactly what happens. And even, I don't know if you'd say a psychic, but people who read energy or spiritual teachers will say that sometimes illness, like serious illness that causes the person to have to bow out from something, it's happening because the person wouldn't listen to their own body or listen to what was happening inside, and they ended up pushing themselves too far. So certainly the first step is realizing that if you do not take heed of this, it'll be done for you in one way or the other. And you always want to be choosing what happens and not waiting for something outside of yourself. So I would say maybe this is, even if this is like related to a job that is very demanding, that doesn't give you that time. Maybe that's where the stress is coming from in the first place, is that, the number 10 is the end of a cycle. Has your job become too much, too demanding for you, Leo? Is it time for you to say goodbye? And only you can know if that's true or not. But I will say that because 3 of the 5 of these cards are fire sign cards, that they really do align with personal freedom, and certainly align to a sign like Leo. So keep that in mind, because maybe you have been giving too much of your time for something that has been depleting you. And the incoming energy is the 9 of Wands. This is boundaries. This can be, you see the person's expression on their face. It's very wary, like they're anticipating some kind of an attack, or some kind of somebody who's coming back into their life who's not, who doesn't seem to really care about their well-being. And that can indicate that you have to set these boundaries, because other people, they may just want what they want. And an example would be if you have a boss and all the boss is doing is looking for ways to be successful, and they are not really tuning into the people who are working for them, and they're just maybe working them too hard, not giving them enough downtime. And sometimes you have to put your foot down and say, this is what I'm willing to do, and not count on them to do that for you, or to honor you. And like I said, I think that a lot of Leo people are workaholics, so they may not tend to see the need for that in the first place. But you may feel a certain stress, and you need to realize that. The outcome card is the 8 of Wands. This can be very fast-paced events, so perhaps you may, an example would be, and I'm not saying this is going to happen to you, but an example would be that you say no, finally. By the way, if you are Sun in Leo and you have inner planets in Virgo, like Mars, for instance, you may have a tendency to give in too easily to demands, And even when it's affecting you personally, because you want to be the indispensable person in the office place, you know. But in any case, you may put your foot down. You may say, no, I'm not going to work this weekend. No, I'm not working this weekend. Actually, I'm going to be going to a cottage this weekend. And then what if the boss says, well, if you don't come in this weekend, you get fired? Oh, well. And so it's just like all of a sudden you're out of a job because you chose to put your foot down, and then you get hired right away somewhere else. Yes, these things can happen because, first of all, it is a market that favors the employee rather than the employer. There's a lot of job openings these days, but also this sense of instant manifestation. So if you've been like, oh man, I'm really stressed out, I need to get away, it's like things can happen very rapidly. So just keep that in mind if you feel like, oh no, if I do this, I'll be out of work for 6 months or what have you. Your personal situation may be different from what I'm describing. So you are the final authority on the choices that you make in your life. And hopefully this resonated, but in any case, if you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Take care.